Oh, well, hello again. Um, I'm drinking a coffee. say I have nothing to hide from you, baby. It comes to pieces, it comes to peace, it comes to pieces. I cannot release, cannot release, it comes to pieces. Listen to me, my darling one, when I say you are my love. You cannot rhyme one with one, and one is two. When I say I love you, I don't mean go to the zoo. When I say I love you, I don't mean we're 17. When I say I love you, I don't mean eat some poo. When I say I love you, it's just the air escaping my butthole. But for you, my darling one, I do have someone I would like you to meet. He's a little man. He has small little feet. He has tiny little hands, and he is a baby. I think you could care for the baby very well because you are a good person, and for me, I smell. You could be a wonderful mom. I would be a Islam? I don't know. Keep in mind, I have an eye some of the stranger things in life. What's stranger, Islam or Christianity? Christianity is quite complex. Islam complex as well, of course. Needless to say. Both come from very long traditions. And it is probably racist to say that Christianity came before Islam. I don't know. I'm not immersed in that culture. I don't know if this or that, one or the other. I do suspect there would be those who would say Islam traces its roots as far back or is even farther than Christianity. And a Christian would, of course, argue his case, or her case, and say, well, no, we were... Well, you see, Christians put a date and time on the birth of Jesus. I'm sorry, I know there's resentment in my voice when I say that. It is learned hatred and it has to stop. Just want you to know I love you. That's not just air escaping my butthole. Ben, did you just say you want a baby? Dude, you know, like, I'm not really capable of providing for a family. It's okay, Ben. When you get a baby, someone's going to give you a job, and the job will probably be really terrible, but you'll be paid, and you can take care of your baby. Like, people want the baby to be good, and if you're going to be the baby's father, you're going to have to step up. Well, dude, like, I'm weak, okay? I have a legitimate disability. Why are you even talking about babies? Do you want a baby? Well, not really. For a very long time I was kind of like, not really wanting to. See, the best thing I can think of in terms of having a baby that you care for in some way or another, in general culture, Canadian culture, it's not necessarily when you're 18 you're out of the house kind of thing, but like around age 20, maybe 22, 23, pushing it, like, it is the hope of the parent that, I think this is what the general culture would say, that it's the hope of the parent that the child could fend for himself or herself. Didn't happen in my case, but very lucky that my parents were serious when they said, yeah, we're in this for life. And I should really be thankful for that. Alright. I'm not perfect. I'm talking like I'm a saint because I'm disabled. I'm not. Just because I have, like, problems doesn't mean I'm not, legitimately... Doesn't mean I haven't done legitimately unacceptable things. And I can, always hide behind the fact that I've, what's called an illness. And, maybe that's even justified, but, and that's why the Christians say we're all sinners, because they say we are all sinners. So when someone says, oh, look at the sin that man did, look at that heinous act that man did. Jesus says, you see the log in your brother's eye. Or, no, you see the splinter, the toothpick in your brother's eye, but you don't see the log in your eye. That's pretty smart. Yeah, my it's probably the medication, but I'm just going to end the conversation about that there. And there are wolves, of course. My mom calls me a lamb. I think it's a joke, it's endearing, but and my dad took me out into the woods, and we stepped out of the car, and in the distance we could hear a wolf, actual physical animal wolf, howl, and we were supposed to howl back. And like looking back at this, it's like was I doing some bizarre like cult ritual when I was like 6 or however old I was? Like to show you planet. Ooh, look at the planet. Plan it. Because that's the thing, it should be planned. That's why they call it Planned Parenthood. And people, I get so much of my information from the TV, and I don't even know if, like, any of this is real, but, like, people say Planned Parenthood is bad because they offer abortions, and even though that's legal, it's, of course it's controversial. But that's not the only service they provide. Like, you need to plan to be a parent. You can have an accidental pregnancy and say, okay, I'm going to have the baby anyways, and yeah, that's totally cool. But like, ideally, okay, in my personal culture, I can say that. I can say I have a culture, like, I can say the beliefs of my mother, father, and I is a culture, and they may be shared somewhat by others, but I could just, in my family, my small family, both the man and woman would be working. I guess the woman, of course, would be allowed time off, and I know the legislation is such that the man is allowed time off now as well during the pregnancy, but both the man and the woman would be working. Just in my own, my parents probably agree, but I don't know, but like in my own estimation, both the man and the woman would be as healthy as possible. And when I say that, I'm talking about being clean and sober, any STDs that can be cured, having that taken care of, like healthy exercise, muscles, body, strong, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it seems kind of, it seems transparently obvious that that would be the best way. And then you see on TV these like examples of these couples of, that's what they do. They work themselves up into a state where they both have jobs, they're healthy, they have good, social life, whatever. They're at their peak, right? Um, And by peak, I don't mean they can't go higher. I just mean they're with it. And they try to have a baby, and they can't have a baby. And what's not discussed is, maybe all that work they're putting into having a job and staying away from drugs and not having any STDs, or whatever. If you have an STD, I'm not judging you. I'm mentally ill. I take medication. I feel like I kind of have a weird. I kind of know what that's like. So yeah, and so I'm on medication for my mind, and people are telling me, this is probably going to be pretty long term. So should I even have a baby? Like. And yeah, needless to say, I'm not even going to talk about it, but needless to say, I fully understand someone's desire to never have a baby and to purposefully never have a baby. I completely get that, and I feel it in me as well. And if I were living on my own, I've had a cat for at least one cat for most of my life. If I were living on my own, I don't know if I'd even adopt a cat. Or a fish, or whatever. Maybe I'd think differently if I were really alone. They say dogs are men's best friend. That's what they say. I know it's. Don't get hung up on, equality. Yeah, Ben, stop being so concerned about equality. So that's my coffee.